Hello, happy Labor Day. I'm filming this on Monday. If you watched last week's vlog video, I ended up combining the two previous weeks just with me moving and the different situations going on with that. But I also touched base on what I'm planning on doing here moving forward, and I'm at least going to try to do my weekly vlog videos and then at least do my mid-month or end of the month wrap up. It just kind of depends on how much I read, but we will see what happens. But I at least am paring it down to the weekly vlog videos, but I have to play catch up. So I need to do this past weekend plus today's, because today is Monday when I'm filming this. So I have not read anything this weekend. I mean, technically I've read Ruby Fever, but I touched base on that on my clip last week, so I'm not really going to mention it too much outside of I did technically read this weekend and I loved it. But otherwise, I haven't really picked up anything else. I do plan on trying to stick to ebooks as much as I can if I am reading, just to kind of help with my space saving. But let us do the quest calendar. And since we are officially at the beginning of a new video, I have been playing the Sundial Games Quest Calendar 2022, The Gates of Terralon. This is a RPG tabletop role-playing game based off of like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, that kind of a thing. That is a daily calendar, and then the weekends are combined. So this is what it looks like. And then we are playing as Savani Moonchaser. She is the monk class and her race is a feline, so she's like a cat person. Super fun. And then just a quick blurb. So on each day there will be potentially different things. All of this script-like text is like the story that I will read out loud to you. Everything in this block font in the box is like the mechanics of what we need to know. If there is combat or something like that, we will get a table that kind of explains what rolls will potentially need to be made. And then all of the information that we need to know is on the back of the previous page. So for this weekend, we are moving into another world, so we got to enter the portal to get to a new place. Just to kind of run down on what is going on in the story, if this is the first video of mine you're watching. So we have realms to all of these different worlds, and the gate to the demon world was shattered. So we are traveling world to world to find pieces of the demon gate so we can reassemble it, because otherwise the universe will just kind of implode, it seems like. And at the end of last week's video, I did have to do like a week all in one sitting, which is fine. But we found that some guards were trying to destroy a gate. So I think this might be behind what happened with the Demon World gate. So we might be starting to learn more information on the behind the scenes of why this gate was destroyed. And it might not have been the demons. So, like I said, we are in a shadow world right now. And we will see what this says. One last guard grabs the blue and silver canisters, the Zenith bomb perhaps, and moves to flee through the gate. You need to stop or pursue him. Either way, you will need to meet his commander, the Scheme Mark, to convince him to leave the gates alone. So A is adjust the spell to stop the guard, which is a wisdom roll, reminder, arcane, adept for skills. Or B, pursue the guard through the gate, which is a constitution roll, reminder, danger sense. Now, I would like to adjust the spell to stop him from going through the gate, but we are not arcane based. But I would rather do that than trying to pursue him through the portal. So, we're going to attempt to do A, and we will see how it goes. So we need to make a wisdom roll, and our wisdom is a +3 And that is a 12, so we are at 15. If the result is 15 or more, you have cast this spell several times so far now, and you are quite familiar with the workings of it. You managed to stop the guard by reversing the gate and bringing him back through. Now you have to fight him. See combat below. Okay, so combat, roll a d20 plus attack, then roll damage. So our attack is a plus 10, and I am rolling a d20. And this is the part of the tiny set that came with the game. And that is a 9. So we are at a plus 19 to attack. And we need an 18 or more, so we do hit. And our damage is 2d12 plus 3. So that is a 3 plus 9. So we are at plus another 3. So we are at 15 damage. Okay, if you hit and your damage roll is 11 or more, the guard dies. I didn't want to kill him, but I guess we didn't really get a chance. We didn't really get a choice. So, having stopped the guard, you collect the Zenith Bomb. If you haven't made your way through the gate, you step through now. So we killed him, we've collected the Zenith Bomb, and we are moving through the portal. So let us see what happens today on Monday. Oh, okay, so we went from a world of shadow, it looks like, to a world of light. So Dawn Summit is the name of this world. Let's see if it'll focus. Super pretty. This kind of gives me like Rivendell Elven vibes. Speaking of, I started the new Lord of the Rings series on Amazon Prime. I wish there was more than 2 series out, but it was really good. I'm very intrigued to see how everybody's gonna kind of come together. But back to this. Your eyes behold majestic buildings made of marble reaching high into the sky. You've traveled to the beautiful city of Dawn Summit, a peaceful place with the perfect balance of life and form. Visit the places and converse with the people of the city. Alrighty, so we are going to explore the city of Dawn Summit, and it looks like in the world of light. So, the elevated estate, beautiful rooms and lovely food, the best in the world. Pay 5 gold if you would like to take a rest. We have only 4 damage, so I think we're okay. I'm not going to worry about needing to take a rest. You can also purchase meal rations at the inn, of which we have 5, so I don't think we need any more. So we will move forward. The town square and fountain. After walking around the city and enjoying the sights, you come to a lovely square. You see families enjoying their afternoon with picnic lunches under the trees. Bards are playing sweet music in gazebos. Children are splashing and playing in the fountain. It seems like a happy place. In fact, you haven't seen a single beggar or sick person on the street. This is either really good or they're doing bad things with them. This is the first, okay, so Shady Alley. This is the first shady alley you have seen in the city. A woman whispers to get your attention and have you come by. These items must be illegal here. You could understand why the lockpick tools would be, but why a map? So you can buy a map and compass for 20 gold or lockpicking tools, which is also 20 gold. We already have the map and compass. We could buy the lockpicking tools. We do have more than enough gold right now. We have 130 gold. But lockpicking tools are usually a dex-based roll, and we have really good decks, so I'm not going to be worried about picking them up. And then the final place we have here is Majestic Marvin's Medical Supplies. A fawn, a half-goat creature named Marvin, is selling some supplies. He seems to exaggerate their uses as being more than they are. You know what he has, as you've seen them all in other realms you have visited. So he has health potions, greater health potions, ointments, bandages, and potions of clarity. And of the stuff that we have used of that, we already have some, so I'm not going to purchase anything from Marvin. And that is it for today. So I'm going to end this clip, and hopefully I will be better at least filming my quest calendar this week. We will see what happens, but I have things that I have been trying to take care of. So we will see, but I will see you all tomorrow. I hope if you had a holiday weekend as well, it was nice and relaxing and you were able to kind of have some free time to do whatever you wanted. Like I said, I watched the new Lord of the Rings show, and then I also got caught up on the new season of Making the Cut, which I love. I love Heidi Klum and Tim Gum, and I'm really enjoying Making the Cut and how they're able to kind of adjust whatever they want to do versus how Project Runway went, because let's be honest, Project Runway was getting a little stale and they weren't really mixing things up from season to season. So I'm definitely enjoying the new season of Making the Cut, but we will see what happens. But yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Hello, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, September 6th. It was almost 100 degrees today, so I have my fan going the lowest setting it can go, so hopefully you can hear me. But I figured I would do the quest calendar and stuff real quick. But before that, I sat down to read last night, and I wasn't really in the mood to read anything, but I knew I wanted something like fantastical and fantasy. So instead of picking up something new, I started rereading Empire of Storms. I didn't get very far. I'm only that far in. But did I read this book in the last 2 weeks? Yes. Did I really want to reread it already? Also, yes. So I don't know if I'm going to continue rereading because I didn't get very far, but I don't know. I just want to reread it already because there was a lot going on, and was switching from switching from the paperback to the audio. I wasn't like, I was going back and forth and I understood everything. And maybe I missed a couple small things, but I didn't feel like I missed anything major when we had the live show last month. But I may or may not be picking this up again, but we will decide. We'll see what happens later tonight when I lay down. Otherwise, I might try to pick up a fantasy or a paranormal or maybe even a sci-fi and get that on my Kindle, because I have a lot of KU books I definitely want to read soon. I also have been thinking about reading more sci-fi and paranormal, especially to kind of end out the year, because I started kind of taking notes and going through. I did last year, and I'll pop it up above, is I did brackets for my favorites of the genres. So I did a contemporary video, a historical video, and then I combined sci-fi, fantasy, and paranormal romances. And I had went into 2022 hoping to read at least one book from each genre, and then with a couple extras, because I once again have 4 bonuses. And then I can have a sci-fi bracket, a fantasy bracket, and a paranormal bracket to keep them separated. And I have started taking notes and went through my wrap-ups and looked at what I read and what I would consider first or not. And I am severely lacking on paranormal and sci-fi books. Now, there are times where I will binge a series, or I'll have 4 or 5 books, and so I have extra books jotted down for bonuses, and I have quite a few months where If I did not read a sci-fi or a specific genre that month, I'm treating it as an extra bonus slot. So I already have quite a few bonuses that I will have to fill. And a couple of historical ones. And what I was trying to do, and this is obviously could change by the time we hit early 2023 and I sit down to film these brackets, but I was trying not to only do 4 or higher rated books, 4 stars or more. Preferably I was only looking at my 5-star or my 4.5 stars. But there are a couple books where I only read one, or there's a couple months where I only read one historical or just a couple historicals, and both of them I technically didn't enjoy, or I only gave like a 3-star or a 3.5 star, and so I wouldn't classify it as a favorite, but it was the only one I read of that month. And with my reading slowing down, I've been kind of freaking out a little bit, but I do want to try to read a bunch of books off my Kindle, and I'm going to try to prioritize paranormal and sci-fi, specifically sci-fi, but we will see what ends up happening. But I might reread Empire of Storms already, so we'll see what I decide. Other than that, let's just do the quest calendar. So yesterday we arrived in Dawn Summit and we explored the city. So let's see what happens today. Oh, I was expecting like a job board, but it looks like we are exploring more in the city. You have found the king's palace. You will need to get an audience with this King Merrick, who gave the orders to destroy the gate. Convince him of the damage he is doing to the worlds. You ascend the stairs and approach an attendant to request an audience. Alright, so let's see what it says. The attendant speaks. An audience is not granted to everyone. However, you are lucky to have arrived on Royal Audience Day, though not many choose to request an audience. That was lucky. Before anyone is allowed into the palace, one must first be judged worthy. You shall pass through an archway of 2 statues. Both of these depict the god Alazadar as he weighs the deeds of mortals. If you are deemed worthy, you shall pass unharmed. However, if you are deemed unworthy, you may be killed. The statues hold a magic enchantment that measures one's virtue. If you are corrupt, the statues blast you with a magically radiant energy. If you live through it, you will then be allowed an audience. As you can see, this deters most who would desire to speak with the High King Merrick Volgar. Do you still desire an audience? You agree to this judgment and walk under the archway. And our virtue is 10. Or is it 9? It's slightly smeared. I'm either 9 or 10, but we'll see. Okay, if your virtue is 0 or more, so we are good. You pass through unharmed. So it looks like anybody less than that would have taken damage up to 10. So we have a positive virtue, no worries there. So it sounds like we're going to focus on this King Merrick and stopping him from destroying all these other gates, and maybe then trying to find the gate shard to the demon worlds. But we will see what happens. I'm intrigued, and it's kind of, even though we were kind of getting the routine down, it's kind of fun to do something different. Although, I mean, we still have quite a few. September, October, November. I mean, we still have almost four full months of playing. So, but we'll see what ends up happening. Alrighty, and that... no dice rolls today, so that is all I have for you. So I will see you all tomorrow on Wednesday. Hump Day. And we're almost already halfway through the week, which is crazy fun. Hello, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Kind of feels good to getting back into my routine. Hi! As you can tell, I have a new animal buddy. Her name is Rink. She is my brother and his girlfriend's dog. She is a little ball of energy and she's super cute, but she is a bouncer. They call her Deer, but she has been fun to live with. I'm definitely a cat person, even though I love dogs, but it's been fun to have a dog. Very excited to see you when you come home. Although when I get home, my kitty's excited to see me as well because she wants to get fed. But that was Rinks. What a way to introduce her. Hi, what are you doing? Come here. She's silly. So I did read a little bit, not too much last night. So I did read more of Empire of Storms. I read about another chapter and a half-ish. So I think I'm gonna just continue my reread of this, even though I should probably be picking up other things. This is what is fueling me right now. So I'm going to be continuing my reread of this. But otherwise, that is really all I pretty much have for you. So let's just do the quest calendar. So yesterday we entered the King's Castle and we made it through the special check your virtue entrance. Okay, looks like we are going to deal with the king. You approach King Marek Volgar and explain the situation. You earnestly request that he stop this pursuit of destroying the gates of Terralon. Alright, so let's see what it says on here. King Marek Volgar looks down on you from high atop his throne. Who are you to presume to know what is best for all worlds? When the gods separated their realms, they made a mistake in keeping them anchored together and to allow for travel between them. Even now, you are invading this world. You do not belong here. However, it runs deeper than that. It is not just the people that can access the gates as you have done, but the very essences of worlds freely touch and mingle. It is an atrocity that such things have been allowed. Our world was once pure and free from the taint of others. Now, once my plan is complete, it will be again. All worlds will exist isolated from one another as they should have always been. Wow. Okay. You try to tell the king of the harm that destroying the gate has done to the other worlds. You try to reason with him to help you put the gate back together. Rinks, be gentle, be nice. Gentle. She's an old lady kitty. Gentle. Come up here. There you go. Lay down. Lay down. Yeah. Don't pout at me. Okay. This destruction the demons did against the worlds was a last-ditch effort to retaliate and spread their hatred and death. It is evidence of their evil nature. When they invaded our world, we slaughtered them like the filth they are. I will not allow you to undo the peace and freedom that we are so close to achieving. Now, it is against the laws of the kingdom to harm you on Royal Audience Day, but we will take away those pieces of the Gate of Terralon. Guards, seize this person, search their belongings. Can you believe that? The king's guards overwhelm you. They take your World Watcher's staff and the gate shards contained within. Guards, have these items taken to the vault with the gate shard that fell into our world. The guards then escort you out of the palace. Remove the World Watcher's staff from your inventory. And that is it. Be gentle. She doesn't know how to play with you. She likes to play with my brother's kitty. And Cheese is not, first of all, she's an old lady kitty, but she also doesn't really play. She's never really played with dogs. So Rinks doesn't know, ow. She's crawling around on the floor trying to get to her. Oh my goodness. Rinks, you are just crazy. You're crazy. So we have to remove the World Watcher staff from our inventory, but why are you stepping on things? Lay down. She is ridiculous. Yeah, you are. And that is it. So nothing to roll, all narrative. So I'm assuming that we are going to have to try to get released. I don't know if they're throwing us in jail. They said that they cannot harm us because it's audience day. Be gentle. Yeah, be gentle. You just have so much energy. Okay, lay down. Lay down. You're jumping all over stuff. Okay, she is distracting me. Yeah, lay down. Good girl. All right. I will see you all tomorrow on Thursday. We are almost through this week. Hello, happy Thursday. It is Thursday night and I just finished editing my August wrap up and September TBR video. So that should be going up this previous weekend. And so I'll link it up above. I might have already mentioned it before, so it might already be linked up above before, but it's linked wherever. It's kind of nice to be editing videos again, but I needed something to watch, and since I don't have like live TV anymore, I just kind of was scrolling around on the different streaming services trying to figure out what I wanted to watch tonight. It's normally Big Brother night, but I usually wait and watch that in the mornings because it's available for free on CBS the morning after, so I will be watching that tomorrow. But anyway, I finally, late to everything, started Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, and I've heard really good things about it, but just the premise isn't my kind of show. I'm not really a big fan of like murder mysteries or things like that, but it has Steve Martin and Martin Short, who I both adore them to pieces, and it also has Selena Gomez, so I decided to start it. And I'm on episode 7. I just started episode 7, but I had to pause it because this is the episode where the like deaf character is the main character, so everything's in subtitles, so I can't like listen and edit at the same time, so I'll have to like physically watch it, which is fine. I'm super enjoying it. Like I said, late to the party, but I'm definitely enjoying Only Murders in the Building, and it's just so like, it's not overly funny, but the moments that Martin Short and Steve Martin have that are funny, I die. They're hilarious together, and I love their banter with each other. It's so much fun. But anyway, all right, it was 100 degrees today. That's right, September freaking 8th, and it was 100 degrees. But despite that, I made some tea because tea is just relaxing and a de-stressor for me. So tonight I went with Good Earth's pomegranate superfruit tea, which is a green tea based that has pomegranate and cherry flavors, and this is probably one of my favorite pomegranate flavored teas or pomegranate teas. So it's really good. But I also like green tea, but it doesn't taste like green tea to me because it tastes more like a fruity herbal tea. But if you're sensitive to green tea, you might be able to tell. But anyway, I love it. It's really good. Oh, and we just got thunder. Fun. So I do have some book updates. Now that I've blabbered on at you about other things. So last night I did read a little bit more of Empire of Storms. That's this here. I did read more. I read another couple of chapters before bed, but I wanted to try to get to bed on a more normal time because, like I've mentioned, my sleep schedule has been super screwed up. But guess what happened? I was not able to fall asleep. And all the lights were off, and I was like all cozy, and I had my eye mask on. I don't know why I'm covering my face. And I couldn't sleep, and I didn't want to turn on my lights, so I grabbed my Kindle, and I was looking at books to pick up on there. And did I pick up one of the many Kindle Unlimited books I have on my TBR? No. I picked up 2 novellas, which I read last night, but they were both like 50-ish pages, so super fast reads. And so the first one I read was Win a Date with a Cowboy. This is by Kate Tilney, and this is the first book in her Curvy Girls Bachelor Auction series. So the whole series, I did not realize this, but it's set in Denver. And the premise of the series is that there is a bachelor auction. Different tropes of men are going up for auction, and it's all going to be for charity to benefit both firefighters and their families, and families who were impacted by wildfires. And the way that she kind of was talking about it, this book came out this year, it just reminded me a lot of the horrific wildfires that came down into Boulder County last year. And I mean, it hit a heavily populated area, and it was pretty tragic. But so it reminded me kind of that, the way that they were talking about the wildfires. It reminded me of that situation. So I don't know if she was inspired by that, but that's what it gave me vibes of. And it was cool because I didn't realize it was set in Denver, which is a side note. I plan on, when I can kind of do more of my videos and want to do planning, I want to pick up either books set in Colorado or authors set in Colorado that I haven't read before, and I think that would be like a fun video. But a lot of them also tend to be set in like Boulder and Denver, and I'm not in that area, but I'm closer to it than other parts of Colorado. But anyway, back to this. So this is, I don't remember her name, and I made notes, and my notes are on my iPad. But so she is the heroine, which I'm looking up her name here. She is the assistant to a up-and-coming fashion designer, and the fashion designer is the one bidding on a bachelor, and she had looked at the lineup beforehand and wanted her assistant to bid on the cowboy that was going to be there. His name was Kale. I started my September notes, so I'm just pulling those up here. If it loads. Thank you. Her name is Jill, and he's Clay. I knew it started with a C. So she bids on him. We're talking 50 pages. I knew it was going to be insta love. I gave this 3 stars. It was fine. The writing style just didn't quite vibe with me, and when I'm going into one of these insta love really quick novellas, my bar is nowhere near as extensive as when I read a full-length novel, but it still didn't quite hit on the things that I wanted it to hit. But I enjoyed myself. It was fine. It just was a little too insta-lovey, and I don't know. I prefer the ones where at the end of the book they're not talking about like marriage or something, and I just wish that kind of trope wasn't put into this. Like, I like the ones where they're very cognizant of, yes, this is fast, this feels like fated, it feels like you're my soulmate, and they have a discussion about how this feels fast and that's like, it is out of the norm, so to speak. But that you know, they might want to have a committed relationship, but they aren't rushing too much into marriage, which I know does happen in real life. But oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were sitting next to me. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was fine. And then because I still was not sleepy, I started another series, and I picked up another Kindle Unlimited Insta-lovey-ish, although this one wasn't quite as much. So this is Dating Your Best Friend's Brother by Lana. I'm gonna go with Lana Dash. And this is the first book in her Curvy Girls Guide series. And this one I gave 3.5 stars. I definitely enjoyed this one better, and I enjoyed Lana's writing style a lot more. This one definitely was my favorite of the 2. But in this we have Kelsey and Max, and there's no real clear discussion on where their ages are. They're out of college, and like, it was quick, but it was a little too quick for some things. Like, Kelsey has been best friends with, it starts with a C, Charlie, I think, who's their next door neighbor, and he is a guy. And everyone kind of jokes about how guys can't be girls with friends, and she's just like, yes, it can. And then I guess her father always talks about, I think there's something about Mary or whatever the popular rom-com is that has that, like, the friends to lovers vibes. But she has been crushing on his older brother, Max, basically since, like, she thought he was cute, but when she hit puberty, it was like heightened and like actual lusting after him kind of a thing. And she's basically been in love with him, so that was a lot easier to palette with this shorter novella, because we had that established previous relationship, but he's been out of town for a few years, and he's coming back, and they reconnect at his homecoming. Now, there were some weird, like, third act breakup stuff added to this, which I don't need in a 50-page novella. I just don't. I want the sweet, sugary happiness, palate cleanser, almost kind of a mindless read. And I didn't need the conflict that was created between them, because it just felt weird, and then they had to wrap it up quickly, and then that just felt weird. So outside of that conflict, this was almost like, had that conflict not been there, this would have been a 5-star for what it is. A quick insta-love, light steam. I mean, I guess it did have some steamy scenes, but just a quick, that type of novella. And that third act conflict just bothered me. I knew there was going to be the tension on the brother's best friend, but she pushes him away because she doesn't want to, like, she doesn't know how the best friend is going to take it, and she doesn't want to cause issues between Max and her friend, and which is his brother. And then he takes it the wrong way, and then he's flirting with somebody, or he's just talking with somebody, and then she finds out after the fact because she leaves, because when she doesn't I don't know, it was this whole thing. And I'm talking way too much about a 50-page book, so I'm just gonna go through it. If you don't want spoilers, skip ahead till after the cover's gone. But so they are making out in a bathroom, and the best friend, I'm just gonna call him Charlie, I don't know for sure if that's his name or not, but he knocks on the door and he's like, hey, have you seen Kelsey? And she shakes her head no, so Max says no. Then Max gets weirded out because he feels like she's hiding the relationship, or what he wants to be a relationship, because he's also pining after her. Hi. And then he gets all butthurt and leaves, and then she gets butthurt because he's butthurt, and then so she, like, leaves. She goes back next door to her dad's house, and he stays at his parents' house where the party is. And then her dad comes home, and her dad mentions that he was talking to some blonde girl. And then she realizes that the blonde girl was the girl who was like the skinny cheerleader captain from high school. So then she gets all like jealous and even more butthurt. And then she like goes out to her old tree house in the backyard and pouts. And then Max finds her there. And then they make out. And then there's that weird... and then he thinks that his brother is in love with her. And then so they end up they go to like a drive-in movie situation, and they end up having sex. And then he decides that even though they just had sex, his brother meant to text Kelsey about confessing his feelings to this girl that he's been crushing on. And he accidentally sends it to his brother, and his brother thinks that he's gonna confess to Kelsey. And then so he just leaves after the date, and she like invites him in and wants to kiss goodbye. And then she gets like super depressed, and she like goes back to her own apartment after this and leaves. And then he has to like chase her down. Way too much for a 50-page novella. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, I liked it enough I want to definitely read more of Lana Dash's books. She has a couple other series that I was intrigued by. But, okay. So, for those of you who skipped past the spoilers, welcome back. I did realize I meant to mention something, but I have to grab my notes because I have things all over the place. Alright. And my leg's falling asleep, so. Okay. I found my note. Alright. So. And focus. Okay, so for Win a Date with a Cowboy, I use this for under 3 pages for Fall in Love. And then for Dating Your Best Friend's Brother, I use this for brown on the cover since her hair is brown. And that is that portion of my note. I have a lot more notes going on, but I went through what I also was working on is I looked at all the books that I have on my TBR for this month, and I figured out what prompts that those would most likely work to cover on Fall in Love, so I can kind of get an idea and put together a list of books, so if I do start mood reading, I can kind of try to mood read in those prompts that I have not built yet. Although it's early enough, I can shift any books if I need to. That won't be an issue, but I'd like to not have to shift to too many books until it gets down to like the last few prompts left on the first bingo board. But what is happening over here? She was laying on my controller and fast forwarding through my show. My goodness. But alright, I'm gonna stop blabbering at you. This is already a lot longer clip than I was expecting. And that is it I have for bookish stuff. So let's do the quest calendar. So yesterday we met with King Mark Volgar, and he stole our World Watchers staff. And then we were removed from the palace. So let's see what happens. Okay, so they did not capture us or anything, so we have the job board. We will earn some money. You need to find out more information on this vault. Luckily, they didn't take your transference sensor and locator. You wait until the items are no longer moving. In the meantime, you can take on jobs in the city and perhaps discover more about Dawn Summit and King Merrick. So there are 3 jobs available. We can take any or all of them. So Love of My Life is the first one, which is D20 plus Charisma. bird hunter needed, which is an intellect reminder animal tamer, and then potion tester needed, which is constitution reminder arcane adept. So we might as well, all three of those sound fine to me. I don't see any red flags on something I don't want to do, so we'll go ahead and try to do all of these jobs. So, and we'll just go in order. So the first one is love of my life. A young man needs help speaking with a girl. His nervousness causes him to stumble, and he can't find the words to say. He wants to use magic to have you talk into his ear from afar while he repeats what you say. Aww, that's cute. Alrighty. So this is a charisma roll, of which I have a +1. Where are you? And that is a 14, so we have 15, which is what we needed. So 15 or more. Your words sound beautiful to the young girl's ears. She falls madly in love with the young man, and in that moment he regains his confidence. He no longer needs you to help him. He happily pays you 6 gold. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so then bird hunter needed. A bird has been known to steal jewelry from the citizens of Dawn Summit. It is requested that you help track the bird down, catch it, and return the stolen items. You place several pieces of gold around the town square in hopes of having the bird come collect them. From there, you can try to track it down. Not a single citizen takes the gold, as theft is highly punished in Dawn Summit. So this is an intellect roll, reminder animal tamer. Our intellect is a 0, but we do have a +2 for animal tamer, plus another +2 from our follower. So total +4. And we rolled a 15. Nice. So that is 19. All right, if the result is 11 or more, you discover that the bird was trained by a thief. Decide his fate. So turn in the thief or let the thief go with a warning. I'm going to let the thief go with a warning because this seems like a little too controlling of a place. So you threaten the thief with turning him in. He apologizes and pleads for your mercy. You let him off with a warning and take the stolen items to have them returned. You are rewarded with 10 gold. Gain 1 virtue point. All right. Well, we are at our max of 10 virtue, so that does not help, but we got 10 gold, and let me see if we turn him in. We saved his life. He would have been executed, so I'm okay with giving up 5 extra gold to save that boy's life. Alright, final one. Potion tester needed. An old wizard with bad eyesight has been working on a special potion. However, he has some memory problems lately and can't remember which potion bottle he stored it in. He needs you to test them until you find it. Okay, so this is Constitution, reminder, arcane adept. So, Constitution is a +1, so. And that is a 16, so we are at 17. I think I rolled 14, 15, 16. That's crazy. Alright, so 17. If the result is 14 or more, you go through several potions. Your experience with some has helped you identify many without having to test all of them. You find the potion and the wizard rewards you with 5 gold. Nice. Nice. Cool. Alrighty, so we got a total of 20 gold, so I will get that added to my character sheet. And that is everything. Tomorrow's Friday. We are at the end of the week. I love 4-day weeks. And there's a lot that I have planned for tomorrow after work. That is okay. So I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope you have a great Friday. Hello. Happy almost weekend. It is officially my weekend, but I'm here to wrap up this week's vlog. A couple notes. I did get some time to read Empire of Storms, mostly this afternoon. So I am now about halfway through. I'm almost at 300 pages in. So just under halfway, but I'm definitely taking my time going through this and making sure I'm not missing anything. And usually when I reread a book, I go faster just because I know what's going on. And so I just get through it quicker, but I'm really just kind of taking my time and enjoying re-immersing myself in this book, even though I just read it. But I don't know, it's just really giving me what I want right now, which is all like, I'm in a huge fantasy mood right now. So I probably will end up picking up some sci-fi or fantasy books after this one, but we will see what happens. But I watched the new episode of Lord of the Rings, the new TV show, The Rings of Power. I am so excited. This is episode 3 so far. And I love it. Fantasy is a favorite of mine. I am enjoying this series. The writers did such a good job at making this feel like Tolkien. And it makes me want to rewatch the movies. Although, I do have to say, I have never seen the director's extended cuts or whatever. So I was looking to see if I can find them on DVD or if they are available anywhere. And it's like ridiculously expensive to buy a 3-pack of all 3 with the extended cuts. But I've never seen them and I want to see them. But the DVDs I always had were just the normal ones because I think that was before they got out or somebody bought them for me as a gift or something. So they didn't realize that there was an extended cut or something. But eventually I will see them. I just have to find them. I also started a podcast. I found another new podcast. I've been hearing about it a lot. It's a part of the Rob Sister Nino. Rob has a podcast like family, but it's called Post Show Recaps. I'll link their Spotify down below. And they do scripted TV. So I started listening to the 2 guys that are doing the Lord of the Rings show, and I am enjoying myself so much. One of the guys on it is a huge Tolkien fanatic, and he not only knows a lot about the books and the movies, but he also is a GM and is super heavy into Dungeons and Dragons, which was based off of Tolkien. So he has that perspective as well, and I am loving it. And then I found out that they did Wheel of Time, which I have finished the first season because that's all that's out. And then, so now I want to go back and re-listen to what they said about Wheel of Time because it's the same 2 guys and they've read the books. And I have not read the Wheel of Time books. I always wanted to, especially after I found out that Brandon Sanderson ended up writing the end of the books because I'm a huge fan of Brandon Sanderson. I binged a lot of his books in college. But I love fantasy. It is just so much fun. Also in other news, because I mentioned it last night, I have finished the first season of There's Only Murders in the Building, whatever it is, something like that. And I am enjoying it. It is so good. This isn't my normal type of show. I'm not a big, I think might have said this in my previous clip, but I'm not a big like I enjoyed CSI, but I just more watched it because my mom and everybody else in the family was watching it. But it was fun. I more enjoyed the CSI hidden and seek and find games. But I don't know, this is just so intriguing, and the way that it's filmed and the way that it's edited and the story is told, I'm really enjoying it because sometimes we get different perspectives of each, of who or different narrations and POVs, but then it still kind of sticks around the 3 people. And I loved the episode where we meet their fan club. I was dying because I would totally, if I lived in an area where some of my favorite podcasters lived, I would totally be out there and hello, hi, can I be your friend? I'm a fan kind of a thing. So I don't know. I'm enjoying things for sure. But other than that, I don't really have any other reading news. I am drinking tea, my zebra mug. And tonight I'm doing an Adagio herbal tea that I have a loose leaf for, and it's like berry compote, berry cream compote, something like that. There's apple pieces in it. It's one of my favorite of their fruity herbal teas. And I have a fresher bag, so I cracked that open instead of one of the other ones I already have open, but that's fine. I have a lot of tea. But anyway, I will stop rambling at you because it has already been 6 minutes for this clip, and let's do the quest calendar and wrap up this week. So yesterday there was a job board, and we were able to get quite a few jobs done. And today, oh, it looks like we have a satyr. I wonder what he's going to try to talk to us about. Come on, focus. Interesting. Okay, we'll see what it says. A satyr approaches you in the street. I heard of your encounter at the palace, and I have some useful information that you are seeking, stranger. Of course, it comes with a price. So we have 3 options. Persuade the satyr to relinquish the info. Charisma, reminder, persuasive. B, intimidate the satyr to freely give the info, which is strength, reminder, intimidating. Or C, pay 6 gold to hear what the satyr has to say. Okay, so I'm going to go with A, even though our charisma is not the greatest. So let me get things moved out of the way. Okay. I'm running out of space. Okay. So this is a charisma roll, which is a +1 with persuasive, which we do not have. But, so we just have a +1. And if I can find my D20, that's a D10. That one feels like a 20. That one is a 20. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see what happens. It's a 4. Oh, it's a 4. All right, so that's a no. If the result is 12 or less. Look, I make money from selling information, and this information has a price. Pay it or not. You will need to pay the full price. See option C below. So we'll pay the 6 gold because we have no choice. Information may be my trade, but I care about my city and the people too. We don't all turn a blind eye to King Mark's rule. He came to power very quickly, only a few short years ago. Some might like the crime-free city, but we have all given up many freedoms to have it. I have eyes and ears inside the palace, and I heard of what happened to you. I may be one of only a few people that know what King Mark is up to. Your things were taken to the only place where things truly get lost. You can find your items at the vault in the Great Labyrinth. If you can make it through the maze, you will find it trapped and guarded by a vicious minotaur. Now, for the information worth the coin you paid. There's a small hill outside the entrance to the labyrinth. Stand atop it and study the maze as best you can. You won't see everything, but it might help you to make it through alive. That's exciting. We're going through a maze with a minotaur. I'm excited. This will be fun. Let's see. There is one more note. If you do not have enough gold, go into debt and pay it back as you acquire more. But we are fine. We have more than enough gold. So I will take the 6 gold out of my inventory and leave it at that. So thank you so much for joining me for week 36. I know things are still kind of in flux, but it feels nice to kind of get back to a somewhat normal routine. And I will see you all very, very soon for next week's vlog. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment. Let me know how your week was. If you are also into rereading books. I know some people don't reread, but when I get the hankering or when I need something that's like very cozy and comforting, I tend to reread because I want that extra coziness and that extra knowledge that I know everything's going to be okay. Because like, even though it's romance and I know they'll get an ETA, sometimes it's nice to kind of go in knowing what's going to happen. But yeah, and also let me know if you are into any TV shows right now. For some reason, I am just in a TV wormhole right now and picking up all of these new shows. But that's okay, because what I need to do is start pulling out some Christmas presents to work on so I can watch those, or so I can work on those while I'm watching these shows. So I need to actually try to make my time more productive while I'm watching these shows. But anyway, let me know if there are any fun shows, especially if they're fantasy. And if you are into them, let me know, because I definitely need more fantasy TV shows in my life. But otherwise, I will see you all very, very soon.